currently here at In Cosmetics North America. I just bumped into Jason and I asked him about this device here. Let me flip the camera around really fast because I didn't know what that was about. So let's talk to Jason. Let me see. Hold on. I'm getting a message from Instagram here. Okay. Let's turn it around. Okay. So Jason, what is this all about?
So this is the Primos CR large field. We are debuting it for the first time today at In Cosmetics.
Okay.
So it's still a little bit in development, but essentially Primos has for a long time been the leading in small field, high resolution 3D imaging.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so let me flip this one more time, guys. Sorry. Okay, so we're going to get on camera here. And so he is building a 3D model of different things. He's done it for faces. Can you show us the photo of the face that you did earlier? Okay.
So I have a capture of a face here.
Right.
And essentially this face gets down to micron level resolution.
Okay, so really, really tiny. And can you tell anything about the texture of the skin based off of this?
We can. We can go in, we can measure the roughness of the skin, looking at different measurements, volume of the wrinkles, volume of pores.
Wow, volume of pores. So you can tell if somebody has really deep pores based off of this model here. And also you can tell things like wrinkles, textures, all sorts of cool stuff. Mm-hmm. And you developed this tool or helped develop it?
Our company develops all the software for it.
Okay.
So we work in conjunction with our company LMI for the production of the manufacturing.
Okay, got it. All right, so we're going to do a quick, yes, this is really interesting, isn't it? Journalist Sylvia Lorenko. Nice to see you here. Hopefully I didn't mess up on the handle too much. But yeah, it's really fascinating that he can build these models. He actually has a 3D background, right?
Yeah.
And at one time worked in entertainment, and so it's really interesting to see how science, right, in this case computer graphics, drives the beauty industry. This is one example of how it's being done. And so what is the scanner called again, so I know?
The Primos CR.
The Primos CR. Wow, it even has a fancy name. So we can't scan a face today because that takes a long time to do. Or I shouldn't say it's a long time. It's just the right equipment. Is that right?
Correct. So it's just as fast as we're going to do a hand today.
Okay.
Only takes a couple of seconds, but we don't have the face device for it.
Okay.
So we're pointing down today, not sideways.
Okay, so we're going to take a look at my hand and figure out what we can see. So let's take a look here. All right, let me get my sleeve pulled up here. And we're going to put my hand on this scanner. So this is the machine. Yes, I would love that. And so we're going to scan my hand.
Okay, so I'm going to have you rest your hand right there. We're already pre-focused, so we don't have to adjust anything. Okay. So I'm just going to have you hold nice and still for a second.
Okay, don't breathe.
And you're all set?
I'm all set. Okay, let's see what that looked like. Oh, hi, Carlos Acosta. It's good to see you here. We're getting my hand scanned. And so they use this to determine the texture of skin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Got it. So tell me a little bit about what you see with my hand. Am I going to be afraid to hear?
Maybe a little.
Okay, sounds good.
It's going to be good. So what we can do here is we can look at the actual topography of the skin. We can see how things are raised. We can do things like measurements of heights of different parts, volumes.
So you can take, for example, would it be like the measurement of a wrinkle from the high point to the low point and see how deep that wrinkle is? Is that right?
I can.
Okay, we're going to see how deep my wrinkles are. I don't know, you guys.
So
how
it doesn't look like you
have
too many wrinkles on your hand, but what we can do is I can draw a line across this vein and plot this.
Great.
So I can hit plot.
Okay.
And we can get a measurement of that line. So
I see.
We can see the topography of that going across.
Right.
So as we come down, we can see that topography.
Okay.
And we can actually go through and get measurements of that.
Right, so that's a map right there of my vein, apparently, or my wrinkle, right?
Correct.
Okay, cool.
And then we have all these very calculation-intensive numbers here that we can use to compare before and afters. To see if things have gotten smaller, gotten larger.
Right.
And
so how deep is that wrinkle? Tell me about it. Am I aged like cheese or wine? Can you give me a little
so that
data?
millimeter is about That vein is about 2 millimeters deep.
2 millimeters deep. Oh, heavens. I don't know if that's good or bad, but what happens is, or you tell me, can companies take this data and what can they do with it? What's the cosmetic applications?
So this would have quite a few different applications. One of the most popular is looking at crow's feet. And we essentially measure beforehand.
Okay, so these things right there. See those?
So we can measure beforehand. We can take those measurements, apply product, or apply a procedure, something like that. Take another capture, and then we can say, okay, we've reduced the volume of your wrinkles by 10%, 20%.
Right. So cosmetic companies can use this to make assessments when they're testing, for example, maybe whether your skin looks moisturized or not, because it can kind of make the skin fluff up a bit, right? So the wrinkles aren't as deep.
So we can, measuring the smoothness of the skin and how that roughness changes.
Got it. Okay, interesting. So before and after. So another example would be like, this would be long term, of course, but before sun damage, maybe at, I don't know, 16 or whatever, and then after at a different age, right?
And seeing how that sun has affected the skin getting more rough over time.
Right, and so let's look. Oh, thank you for the heart. Hi, Vincent. It's nice to see you here. Thank you so much for joining us. If you guys have any questions for Jason, feel free to ask, and we can get them answered right now. I'm going to show you my hand one more time that we scanned. They also do faces, although the face equipment isn't here. And I believe this was called like the Primo scan or something.
Yes,
what is it?
Primo CR. So
the Primo CR. So this is what it looks like, and we put my hand in, and we scanned it, and then we got this. Right, so this is my very, very textured hand, we'll say. And can you do it from a side view so they can kind of see? Yeah, there you go. Right,
so we can see it. The rings are a little reflective.
Yeah.
So it doesn't project as well, but we can get right down in there and
oh my gosh! Whoa! I look like a lizard. Gross. And it is amazing, isn't it, Vincent? This is incredible. And so tell me a little bit about the modeling on this. Like, how is this produced? You mentioned, like, polygons.
Yes. So this is what's called fringe projection.
Okay, fringe projection. Tell us a little bit about that.
How fringe projection works is it projects a series of lines across the surface.
Okay.
And they get smaller and smaller as they go. We know how large those lines are at a set distance, and as they change and get larger, they get closer to the camera. If they get smaller, they're further from the camera, things like that.
Right.
And we're able to produce a 3D image out of that.
Got it. Oh my God, this is incredible. Wonderful. And let's take one more look at the face before we close out here. So this is an example of what they can do with the face scan. And the face scan has to take these images from multiple angles.
So actually, this is with one single capture.
What? Really?
The same as your hand.
Oh, okay.
So this is one capture, just as long as it took for your hand. We captured this
I see.
image.
So it's angled in a certain way where it can get the whole,
right. So
all the angles of the face.
Right. So essentially, if you wanted the full face, you would take 3 photos.
Oh, okay.
This is just one side of the face going straight on.
Right. Oh my goodness. And if you watch my channel later this month, I'm going to be doing something similar. They actually have some software that can do that as well when I take multiple photos to do that. So yes, you can see the pores. Isn't that crazy? So he was saying that you can see the depth of the pores. And I think that that's really good for testing cosmetics to see if they're actually working or not, right? If you say it moisturizes or hydrates skin, conceals pores, that type of thing. You would definitely be able to see that with this type of model. So very interesting stuff. Right, what are these photos here really quick before we close out?
So these are, when we capture into the subject's chart.
Okay.
So these are all the photos that I took of a colleague.
Okay.
All of these captures we can run simulations on and get data from. Just like the one that we've had up on the screen. In total, all of these captures took about 5 to 10 minutes. Okay. Overall capture time is a little under a second.
I'll put some details on Instagram later, so if you want to find out more, you can, okay? I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.